Right, Peter, I'm here. Where are you? Ooh, piece of candy. 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 Ooh, a piece of candy.
Alright, hello, welcome back to a... Christ, it's hot in here. Yeah, it's time to make a video about a shit game. If you've ever heard of the game known as Rainbow Six Siege, well then, you're not special in any way because it was one of the most popular games of the last few years, and I've never really given my thoughts on Rainbow Six Siege because, you know, everyone likes it, right? Everyone likes how balanced it is, everyone likes how just sheer fun it is, and all how the characters are so great and so spectacular. No, not really. I'd go as far as to say that this is one of Ubisoft's worst games of the last few years. I'm not saying overall. And they literally released this garbage. If you don't know what Rainbow Six Siege is, I'll fill you in really quick in the most vague way possible because it's really self-explanatory. Rainbow Six Siege is an online tactical shooter made by the people from Assassin's Creed and Prince of Persia, The Division, Far Cry, and all those people. And, well, really just doesn't hold up all that well. Now, you might be thinking, Justin, your opinion doesn't matter. You have like 16 hours worth of playtime. Well, I think 16 hours overall is good enough of a judgment call because I played it. I sat down on my own initiative and played it, and that's only on PC. I played it on PS4, and I've also played it on Xbox. Overall, I probably got about 45 hours total on all three of those combined, and yeah, it's objectively a shit game.
Well, Justin, you don't know what you're talking about. You've never even been ranked. Not to mention, it's what Ubisoft made their most money on. Go.
And to that I say, no, you shit-spackled Muppet fart. Assassin's Creed is still Ubisoft's highest earner. I don't think it ever won't be unless they just randomly cancel the franchise out of nowhere, which, by the way, I think at this point they should just take a break, kind of fix what they're doing. But this is about Siege and Assassin's Creed. Let me preface one thing. I'm not going in here with blind judgment. I've had the time to sit down and play some of it. It's a multiplayer exclusive game. There's no real single player component, which is one of my flaws with this game that I'll get into later. Overall, it's just so mid. Like, it's no better than Overwatch, and I already think that game is mid as fuck. Like I said, if you don't know what Siege is, let me keep explaining it to you. It's a 5v5 team-based tac shooter that's online only. I mean, there's bots, but I don't think you should really make a shooter game without bots. There's a bunch of different classes. There's ones with grenade launchers, there's ones with cameras, there's ones with bombs, there's ones with different guns, different equipment, all sorts of bullshit, yada yada. Does it really work out every time? Some of it, but at the same time, a lot of it is really fucking broken. Now, do I have a main? I played a lot of Ash because I don't really like going into games like this with too much of a necessary role. Ash is kind of just like, oh hey, point and shoot, oh hey, blow something up, oh hey, fucking order us some hot dogs from that hot dog stand down the road. It's just kind of a there character, I guess. Kind of just sprinkled in. I'm like the cheese on top of the nachos. Kind of there, that kind of holds the team together in a way. And I gotta talk about the toxicity levels because this thing is fucking downright radioactive. The toxic people that play this game are in high abundance. You cannot go through one lobby where someone's throwing racial slurs at you like it's a football at a football game, or people just degrading you because you don't know how to play. I get it's a team-based shooter, but you shouldn't really have to degrade someone over the way they play. If they want to play a certain way, go for it. They may end up choking and making the whole team suffer, but that's your fault for not leaving the game in the first round when you realized that their fucking flaws were so abundant. I remember one time that I was playing with a bunch of friends, guy threatened to shove a hot dog so far down my throat that it would come out my ass. I don't think he was kidding because it actually happened. Some of the gun balancing in the game is worse than someone with no legs trying to balance on a tightrope. It's absolutely abhorrent for some of these characters and their gun balancing, and it's gotten to the point where over the past couple of years they've been taking away and adding new things for each individual class respectively, and that kind of ruins people's playstyles in a way. Oh, I get the whole fucking, oh, you gotta appease to everyone, you gotta make sure everyone's having a fun time playing our shit game. Well, here's the thing. If you take away, like, let's say you take away, like, a sight for a gun that's broken, okay? You don't need to take it away, you can just rebalance it, you can fix it, you can tweak it a little bit, because I know that you little computer junkies are really about that, and how it's not really all that hard for you to fix something like that instead of just taking it out of the game entirely. I don't know, that's my take on gun balancing and reissuing and unissuing certain issues. Let's talk about Tachanka for a second. That man, I would let clap my ass any day of the week. Despite Tachanka being dubbed the crown holder of the worst operator in Siege, I'd still let him take my ass to Pound Town any day of the week. Despite his numerous buffs and debuffs, he's still a slow, chonky boy. Why do you think his name has the word chonk in it? You know you feel really stupid when your team gets aced by a Tachanka main, because it really goes to show that the apple of your life really was just taken out of the tree of life and kind of just squished. And that's coming from a person who sucks the fattest cock at Rainbow Six. I'll be the first to say it. Well, not the first, but I'll be one to say it. I hate team-based shooters. I hate team-based games. Pretty much, period. I like TF2, but that's when I'm with friends. Kinda like Overwatch for the lore and the characters, and I really don't like Siege all that much. I think that this game really overhyped throughout its entire life cycle, and to be honest, I don't see how. If you take a look at the promo material for Rainbow Six Siege, you can show that this game looked fucking like cream of the crop type shit. And then when you got it, it looked like a drab, bland friggin' mess. The game launched with like no substance to it whatsoever. Don't quote me on this, but I believe there were only like 8 to 12 starting operators, and it's a Ubisoft game. They're gonna sell like fucking candy to a fat kid. The game sold really fucking well at the start, despite it being so mid to low tier. You can't only have a small amount of characters. Overwatch had like 20 to 30 at start, and that game, although it's dead now, that game was the biggest game at the time. Siege, it started off, it hatched from the release egg, kind of started fluttering its little wings, and then it was immediately eaten by a wildebeest, like 2 seconds off launch. We can all agree that Ubisoft nowadays is like one of the scummiest, if not the scummiest, game development studio in the industry, right next to EA and Activision. But when they start implementing characters from different universes into Siege, it kind of, in a way, it's fan servicey, but that also goes to show how vulnerable and how out of ideas they are for characters. Like, one of the last operators that they added was Sam Fisher. Now, don't get me fucking started about the Ubisoft continuity. There's been several videos about it on this platform that I don't really want to go into them because they're super long, it's super complicated. But Sam Fisher has been in everything. He's been mentioned in Assassin's Creed. He's been mentioned in Far Cry. He's been in the last 2 Ghost Recon games, I'm pretty sure. I know he was in Wildlands. I can't say for Breakpoint because Breakpoint was a fucking mess. And now here he resides inside of Siege. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Well, it kind of gives fans what they want. People wanted Sam Fisher to return in some form, but as a Siege operator, it's not really what we needed for that closure. What we need is a new Splinter Cell game. We don't need no fucking Assassin's Creed DLC with Sam Fisher in it. We don't need no fucking shitty Ghost Recon expansion with Sam Fisher. We definitely don't need Operator Sam Fisher. No, we need a brand new Splinter Cell game from Ubisoft Montreal. Seems like the only real competent people at Ubisoft. Everyone else kind of seems really dumb. Kind of just throw shit together from assets they've had in the past few years. And I'm not just saying all this blind to hate. I've given Ubisoft a lot of my money. For better or for worse, it's been an investment, but at the same time, that investment involves just like sticking a pile of dog shit in my hand and calling it a video game. Another shitty thing about Siege, the microtransactions, albeit dumb and not pay to win, they're just unnecessary. Like, at least if you're gonna add microtransactions, make them good or worthwhile. You're spending upwards between like $3 to like a couple $100 on these stupid microtransactions. Make them worth our fucking time. Which is why I'm gonna give Ubisoft Club a bonus point right here. Their point system, although is kind of shady because they don't always work, you'll always get little in-game rewards for completing challenges or getting achievements or whatever it may be with those points, and sometimes they're kind of cool, so props to that. But if you really think I'm gonna spend money trying to give my operator bunny ears, what? I'm a single player type of guy, okay? I like single player stories, I like single player games. even if they have a multiplayer component that lacks a lot less than what the single player provides. And Siege has no single player component at all. I get you could maybe call the training shit single player. It's like a staged bot practice thing. Do you know that there are like 50 plus operators now? We're in like, what, year 6 or so for Siege? Why the fuck have they not added a campaign component? I get it. They want to appeal to a broader audience. Not everyone likes single-player games. A lot of people buy these types of games for the multiplayer. I get it. But if you want to appeal to the broadest audience you can, wouldn't you think that adding some form of single-player component that would kind of spruce up sales a bit? Because I know how much Ubisoft loves money. Like, even if it was just one of the operators, like going rogue or something, kind of taking out all the other ones, I'd be fine with that. I literally wouldn't care, even if it was like literally a story about them all going to that same hot dog joint I mentioned 5 minutes ago to grab a hot dog and you gotta shoot some terrorists along the way. I wouldn't care. Give me something, not some half-baked, boring multiplayer that gets stale after 2 rounds. Potential replayability is something that's really important to most games. Does this game have a lot of replayability? I mean, yes and no. If you have friends, this game is an ass load of fun, even if you suck the fattest donkey cock at it.
Justin, doesn't it completely contradict what you're saying about how this game is garbage?
Oh, you absolute bird shit stain on a car windshield. This game isn't the worst game I've ever played. That title is Odyssey, okay? That is the worst game I've ever played. I'd rather play E.T. on the Atari than Assassin's Creed Odyssey. When you have friends to play with, the game can be fun as long as you're not in some smurfing lobby or some absolute try-hard sweaty Cheeto finger lobby. It can be fun. But let me tell you, the replay value really does dip down a fuck ton when you're in those said smurfing lobbies and Cheeto finger lobbies. It completely kills the fun for me because it makes me want to try harder and kind of up the skill a bit of my own ability. But if I don't succeed on doing that, I'll get mad at myself, or this kind of appeals to everyone. You kind of just want to show that person up and get them to shut the fuck up, or else Malone Brown is going to come visit them in their dreams that night. It really does suck if you can't fulfill that prophecy that you're supposed to kick this team's ass. Oh, I get it.
This game is not about winning or losing, it's about having a fun time and a fun experience. I get that.
But it's a team-based shooter. This game is meant to be competitive. This game is made to be a competition. Even in casual, it can still be considered a competition. 2 teams going after a prize of getting that fat dub, okay? I don't want to hear no fucking,
oh, you're just bad at the game. I don't want to hear it from you, you not ranked person. You loser.
Well, you listen here, you water bottle filled to the brim with squirrel shit. Kind of tired of people telling me that bad at a game just because I don't like it or I don't appreciate it. I can give my game an appreciation, but at the same time, I do not have to like it. I'm notorious for hating Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You can ask anyone I know. That game is the literal bane of my existence. But I do give it one thing. Some of the cinematics look really good. Some of the dialogue can be good when it's not written by a fucking Muppet. I may not like Siege, but I can give it proper compliments. Some of the gunplay is really good. Most of it's really mid-tier to average, but some of it can actually be really fun. Getting that fat, sweet, and juicy dub against those tryhards who are talking a whole lot of banana shit at the beginning of the game, feels nice. Feels really good. Sometimes it feels a bit unrewarding, however, when dubs are handed to you on a golden platter by people that absolutely have no idea how to play the fucking game. I think I kind of made my point a little clearer, but let me just reiterate it one more time. I think Rainbow Six Siege is a bad game. I don't think the whole 100% of the game is bad. Like I said, the game is very flawed. It has its absolute atrocities. But then, when you cut corners a little bit, you can have a little bit of fun with this. Like if you have friends, or if you're playing as a class that really doesn't require much skill at all, it can be fun. It's just mindless, stupid fun that you might have with your friends. I don't think I said this or not, but if I did, I apologize. If you're playing by yourself, the game gets stale, and you don't even want to finish an entire match. So if you think about playing this game, play with friends, because I don't want you to have to go through the line of boredom. Oh fuck, I forgot to say this. Join our Dead Meme Storage Discord. I'll put the link down below. It's a bunch of us shooting the shit, having a good time. More info on the Dead Meme storage coming very soon. What do you guys think about Rainbow Six Siege? Honest to God, I hope the game gets better in some way because I'm really fucking tired of sitting there contemplating, do I want to put myself through the ringer of dog shit, or do I just want to play something else that might be a little bit better? Maybe a little worse, but still kind of want to play it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next one. Peace.